Look, I've got less than 25 minutes, and we're heading home today. So let's get into the right state of mind. I want to talk about credibility and establishing expectation. Credibility and establishing expectation. If you would want to put in parentheses, this is about your prospects' projectability. Now, I'm under no illusion that you are missing anything in terms of how you prospect, how you take people through a process, a selection process, how you inform, educate, and prepare people for business ownership. I know you've got it. I know your upline, and they teach this thing, they show it, you've been demonstrating it, it's great. I'm not here to talk about mechanics. I'm here to talk about your mentality, because there is some people here that still struggle with developing any kind of personal momentum. Personal momentum leads to group momentum. All right, that's been well documented through the years. I know a guy who did a good audio a long time ago on that one. And my mindset is this. I know what I'm looking for. Last night in our talk, Mary Beth and I, we spent a lot of time talking about knowing what you want. Remember that? I know what I want. I know what I want my team to look like. I know what I want my environment to feel like. I'm looking for people that have desire, capacity, and appreciation. I know the feeling when you're somewhat new, or maybe you've gone through a time where you've lost some momentum. You're so desperate to be able to get somebody in this business, but I'm gonna tell you, over the long haul, that's only gonna hurt you. I want to instill an expectation in our prospects. I want to instill in them the proper expectation and the positioning that I have. I'm the buyer, not the seller. I'm here looking for people that have traits that are going to help my team. I learned to tell my story really well. Do you have a story? Of course you do. How'd you get started in the business? Why did this appeal to you? I know why it appealed to me. I know how it did, and that story, I've been telling that story hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, because I know that story relates to people. My story is different than your story. Some people think that their story is a bad thing, that they had bad things happen in their past. But seriously, sometimes struggles and going through the crucible of life could be leveraged to create something that attracts people to you, because there's so many other people that are like that. You know, they don't have a ton of hope, but you can say in your own real, authentic way, here's what led me to the people that I'm in business with. And I don't have time to get into this, but you know, you've heard this a ton of times. And I'll talk about who I'm in business with more than what I do. I've got to establish something early, proper expectations. I'm looking for people who do have a desire. They do have hunger. They're after something. They're not done. That they want more out of life, and that doesn't necessarily mean greed. They're not greedy. I was looking for something because I just knew, I felt something on the inside of me as I'm sitting in a cubicle at IBM, as people kept telling me how lucky I was and how fortunate I was and how blessed you are. Man, you got it made. How come I didn't feel like I had it made? I wasn't mad at my boss. I didn't hate my boss. Actually, he was a pretty nice guy. I didn't like the fact that that's my future. That bothered me. If you want to progress and elevate yourself, that's going to be your future. I didn't like his lifestyle. I thought he kind of was camping out in his title. I wanted more, and it had nothing to do with greed. I felt like I was supposed to make a difference. I felt like I was supposed to do something productive in my life. And now if you told me, oh, that's business ownership, I wouldn't have really related with you yet until I went and saw the plan. I wasn't unhappy with my job. I felt very fortunate. But to me, I was hungry for more. So when I say I'm looking for people who are hungry, they have desire. That doesn't necessarily mean greed. Who have capacity. I want to know, well, what have you done? I'm not looking for 98.6 to be the only condition by which I let you in my business. Now, I've got a wide gate, no question about it. But just telling me, man, I really want to make money. Most of this stuff is just talk. I want to know what they've done in their past. It tells me that they've kind of been through a crucible or two. They've already been through some challenges. They've already been tested. Perhaps you played high-level sports. You'll be tested if you want to make the team, if you want to make the field, if you want to play. You athletes know what I'm talking about. Whoever wants to get on a team just to be able to get on a team to go and impress their girlfriend, you got a uniform. I mean, come on. Really? I'm not getting on a team so I can ride the pine. I want to play. I like to ask, so you've played sports. Tell me about that. Did you win any championships? How cool was that? Maybe I find out that this individual was the captain of the team. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, this is good. All right. That means responsibility. That means maturity. That means leadership. That's setting an example. Good. Maybe they never touched a field. Maybe they played a video game of baseball. That's about it. But maybe they're really good in corporate America. Maybe they're in management. Maybe they've been promoted, elevated. They've been given responsibility. I'm looking for people who have capacity. I'm not looking for people who are bored with a lot of time in their hands. I am creating an expectation. What am I projecting very early on? Let me tell you a story. Now, I don't have a lot of time with this. This was a 45-minute talk at my last function, so I'm going to cram it down to 25. I had a couple come to me this week who's been around the business for a while. They're pretty excited about this business now. They're almost like it's like they're kind of born again in the business again. They got really charged on up. They're a different season of their life, and they really want to run, and they're taking action. Really proud of them. But the last 5 to 7, depending on which one you talk to, the husband or wife, let's just say 7 people that they felt were prime to start this business. Surely, they're going to be good ones. Every time they said, here's what we need to do next, they did it. Well, Bobby, here's what we need to do next. Oh, okay. They show up. Hey, upline, I've got a live one. Been to 2 meetings and follow-ups, answering all the questions. Anybody ever seen this before? Answering all the questions is perfectly. Well, what are you getting out of this? Where are you at mentally? Well, let me tell you, I really like the people. Man, I really like the way you present the business model. Man, I really like your strategy. Woo! Hey, upline, I got a live one. This couple had put, let's just say, 7 people through the process to the point where they're about ready to get registered. They were so happy. They were so excited. It's finally starting to work, Joe. We're so happy. You've really helped us so much. We're liberated. We're free. We can do this thing. But massive disappointment. Has anybody experienced this one? Disappointment. Yeah. All right. And so they're not crying, but they are really reaching out for help. Think about the psychology of this. We have a very structured selection process. Yes? We know how to take people from one step to the next. Look at all the people that you've taken through the process. They don't have to make any decisions for themselves. So if you really think about it. So here's what you need to do. You need to meet me over at Panera. We'll talk. We'll have some exploratory talks right here as we interview you. Okay, I'll meet you there. You get there. You tell your story. What's your story? How'd you get here? Let me tell you, our mindset of this. Here's where we're going. You start giving them some very high level information. Looks good. Hey, here's what we need to do next. What do I need to do next? We need to meet again, and we need to do this. We need to do that. Okay. Here's what we need to do next. Come back to the meeting. Follow up. We'll meet you at Panera again on Tuesday night. Okay. Yes, got it. Looks good, doesn't it? Yep, sure does. All right, think about that whole scenario. Not once are they having to make a decision for themselves. Think about it. You see, you could be really faked out on this one. You think you have somebody. Sure, we all want to sponsor somebody. We're doing really good in VCS. By the way, I've been hearing a lot in this organization. You're doing really well in your VCS. Excellent. I'm hearing about the Bronze Foundation. I'm hearing about the Bronze Builder. Excellent. And you guys are taking advantage of the compensation plan. You're doing great. You got a well-structured business, very balanced business. Right now, I happen to be talking about the sponsoring side. I don't want to take anything away from our vigorous and healthy retail side of VCS you're doing well on. But let's talk about this, is that if you're not careful, you think that you're really taking people through a selection process, and all you're doing is you're more or less selling again. You're selling and selling. Here's what we need to do next. Here's your next step. Come here, show up. I mean, it's really not that hard it's not a massive commitment to be accountable enough to show up at Panera Bread on time. And I said to this couple, I said, you know what? Here's where I think you're missing it. It goes way back to the beginning. The title of this talk is Credibility and Creating the Right Expectation. It goes right back to the beginning. When you first met them, when you first made that initial call, we have it depends on the verbiage. I don't want to make a mistake here, so I'll just say in our world, we call it a pre-qualifier. You might call it a meet, greet one. Whatever you guys call it. I don't give a rip. It's the same thing. All right? The point is, way back in the beginning, there are some things that put them in the expectation or the understanding that they are in charge. Somewhere along the way, in every scenario, they believe that they're the ones that are controlling the flow of this and controlling the decision. Y'all getting this? Somehow, you are portraying, you're coming across as a real likable person, real likable couple. You're really friendly, but friendliness and likability, it's a part of establishing, a business relationship, but there has to be something early on. Here's my mindset. I'm a busy man. I'm a business owner, an entrepreneur. I have been very fortunate and blessed that I've been able to have some people come in my life and take me under their wing and mentor and coach me. If you look at these business owners, men and women, their resumes are amazing. They have got business all over this country. Their skill sets on finance and business and sales and leadership and conflict management are amazing. On top of that, they're really good people. You know what? They're easy to trust. they've been able to take us under our wing. You heard my story, mom and dad, my first dream was to play ball, got hurt, finished up my degree, moved down here, didn't hate my boss, didn't hate my job, but I knew there was something more out there. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I went to a couple of seminars where I learned about business ownership, and now I'm starting to see it's still a little cloudy, but a picture that business ownership is the way that my wife and I are going to accomplish some of the goals and outcomes that we really want in life. What's important to us is we'd like to start a family down the road. We'd like to have more choices and options. We'd like to have some financial options. And we had some people come in our life, and we got noticed because of our hard work and because we're teachable and coachable. We have capacity, we have desire. They took us under their wing, and now today, let me tell you, so important, those relationships. You've heard that. So let me tell you what you need to understand. The people I'm in business with, I value that relationship so much. Not only my mentors, but the people that I have brought in business with me, because you know what? We have a mutually beneficial relationship. Some people call it a partnership. I'm not talking about a contractual sort of thing. Partnership in terms of verb, action. We're working together towards common goals. They have desire, capacity, and appreciation for what we're doing. They have accountability. They respect my time, and I respect their time. It's a healthy relationship. I've already got many of those. If I work with you and take you under my wing, make no mistake, I'm the buyer, not the seller. Look, if I take you under my wing, I got to carve time away from my wife, Mary Beth, my kids, and really good, healthy business relationships. So you understand, I don't make money. You have to understand this. I don't make money in the act of signing you up, in the act of recruiting whatsoever. I know that there's a lot of other deals out there, and I do want them to tell me what they've been exposed to, because that helps avoid some landmines down the road. I know there's a lot of deals out there, direct selling, multi-level, network marketing, all kind of deals. Tell me about what you've experienced. Okay, I get that out of the way, so I have that. No landmines for me down the road. But I say, look, the thing that you understand is that I make no money trying to sign you up or to get you something. There's no reason for me to manipulate, deceive, or lie to you. None. There's no money to it. In fact, my reputation in the marketplace is pretty important to me. And you'll figure out, if I'm lying to you, if I try to trick you into getting in this thing, you'll figure me on out, then you'll post it all over the internet. Look, I want you to understand, if I start feeding you information about how my business model works, that'd be like trying to spoon feed you with a fire hose. You're not ready for it. I'm not even sure what you want to accomplish. I'm not even sure you and I can work together. I think you would appreciate the fact that we need to have some trust, me with you and you with me. If we're going to be spending time together, guess what? Don't you think that this is important to build up some rapport? Y'all getting this, by the way? I said, look, going forward, because I'm not going to lie to you, I expect you to be honorable to me and have some integrity as well. It's a two-way street. Are you okay with that? Therefore, I will always tell you the truth. And we're going to build upon layers of understanding of how we put together this business model, how it's advantageous for us, how we take advantage of it. So as we inform, educate, and prepare you for business ownership, it's going to take some time. If you leave this conversation and you feel like you got to go talk to your beer drinking buddy or fraternity buddy, or go talk to mommy and daddy or a coworker and ask them about what they think about what I do versus just asking me, who has real life, real world experience, why don't we just shut it down right now? I'll make you a customer, and we got to give you access to some fantastic products, and you'll be one of my preferred customers. If you're the kind of person that's just going to run to the Google and start Googling Joe Markowitz, you probably can't spell my name, but Joe Markowitz or what I do or whatever, if that's what you're going to do, if that's the lack of respect and accountability you're going to have to me, knowing that I'll tell you the truth, I don't make any money off of you lying to you. If you're going to do that, let's go ahead and shut it down right now. Are you that kind of a person, or we're going to be able to work together going forward as I inform, educate, and prepare you for business ownership? What's it going to be like? You do that? Heck yeah. You know why? Because I got a big business. You know why? Because this is a good business. You know why? Because I think you can make good money in this. Not perfect, far from it. But there's a lot of different paths and avenues to make money in this business. But I got to tell you what, the people that have come in my life and have chosen to carve out time for me and to support me and to coach me on up, let me tell you, you might not appreciate it. If you don't, we're not going to go too far. But if you appreciate the fact that mentors are really important in life and how you network with yourself personally and professionally is important, if you see that, then you'll have an appreciation for what I already have and what I bring to the table. You do that? Yes. Because I have appreciation and respect and accountability to people who have come in my life and helped me with my business, and has changed the trajectory of our family's economic future. You say all that? Yes, and I do it with a smile, but I do get it out. And it happens right at the beginning. I talked to this couple. I said, look, it's not about regurgitating power phrases and lines in a perfect sequence. You know, reading it as you hear it on audio. I know that, you're impressed by a lot of these, but it isn't one of these things. And now, here's what we need to do next. And now you need to go to an information session. Now you need to be able to listen, determine your success. All right, and are you serious about having a business of your own? You know, it isn't that. I know you don't do that. But that's how it comes across. I have a growth mindset. I have a great appreciation for who I'm connected with. I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for. And if my relationship, my appreciation for what my upline has done for me is minimal and I give it lip service, then guess what? My prospects will have very little appreciation for what I bring to them. And you wonder why you can't sponsor people? You wonder why people kick out in the process? Y'all getting this? It has to happen early. You establish this. Now, look, I know that there are people looking out there. And the last couple of things I'll tell you is this. What are you projecting? Are you projecting to your prospect that you are bringing in something that is a really legitimate business, one that has a lot of potential? If you're projecting that, then they'll come along with you. You'll have credibility. If you're trying to sell it, you're not going to go far. You get that? What are you projecting? Look, I guarantee you, when you leave that conversation, they're checking out your social media. What do you have on your social media? You still have pictures when you were in college? You know, the way you carry yourself? Let me tell you, that doesn't look very professional. You might want to clean up your social media because I guarantee you they're checking you on out. How do you dress? Do you dress provocatively, or are you going in looking as a professional? How you carry yourself? You only have one chance to make a first impression. What's your personality? Are you obnoxious? Or are you listening to people? Do you ask questions and then listen and really pay attention? Or are you just spieling off another speech? Do you have a calm conversational tone? What's your vibe? Meaning, are you attracting people to you or repelling? You get somebody else in your upline and ask them a serious question. Am I repelling or attracting? What would you change? If you saw me in the marketplace, what would you change in me? What do I need to change? It's good to ask those questions. What's your body language? Is it always this all the time? Acting smug? Or do you make good eye contact? Do you shake your hand properly? Do you lean in and listen? And the people really can tell you care. Finally, in what are you projecting? Are you projecting confidence? Are you projecting credibility? Are you establishing expectations early? Because if you don't do it from the get-go, they will think that they're in charge, they're making all the decisions, and they could shut this process down at any point. And that's not acceptable to me. I have a big business. It's a good business. I'm looking for the best and the brightest out there, and people in the marketplace are looking for exactly what we got. Hope you got something out of this. We'll see you spring forward and hopefully heart of a leader. God bless you.
For existing IBOs only, not for use with prospects. The success depicted in this profile may reflect income from sources other than Amway, such as earnings from the sale of training and education materials or other businesses and investments. While the techniques and approaches suggested have worked for others, no one can guarantee that these techniques and approaches will work for you. In addition, we want to emphasize that success in this business does not come without hard work.